All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our actually it's 10:05, but our 10 a.m. call. Good morning, Elgin. Good morning, Nate. Good morning, Aria. Good morning, Sid. Morning, Dee. Good morning, Michael, Ralph. And is it Divya? I hope I said that right. Thank you for joining us this morning. We have a very special guest who I was introduced to a couple of weeks ago through a Don Yoakum call. I was blown away. And the reason I'm bringing Jeremy on is because I thought it was something of value that some of you might enjoy. I've never seen anything like it before. I'm not going to take any more time. Jeremy, please introduce yourself, and the floor is yours.
Oh, nice to meet you. Thank you very much. My name is Jeremy Herrman. I've been licensed since '05. Actually, Aria, near you. I'm from Santa Rosa initially. So licensed in '05 in California. I've been in New York since 2010. So what, 19 years in the industry? This is all I've done. My wife has a team here in Rochester. She'll sell a couple hundred homes a year between Rochester and Buffalo combined. And I've been a business coach, specifically in real estate, the last handful of years too. In coaching, that ultimately led me to building a tech company called ClarityNOW, which I'll show you guys in a moment. And it's we claim that we're the number one tracking and financial tool in real estate. I think you guys would probably agree with that in a moment. And what we're going to go over today is I put together a presentation for you guys that we call Advanced Agent: Plan, Track, Analyze, Succeed. Plan, Track, Analyze, Succeed. And I'll share my screen and go over that with you guys in a moment. But one thing quick that I think is important to note, this is just a little bit of a potential forecasting. So we'll see where the cards fall in a couple of years. And yet we're going through some changes in the industry. I think we all can agree with that, right? It's a pretty easy statement to make nowadays. Right now, there's about 1.5 million realtors. Okay. Now, this statement may scare you guys. And if it does, good, frankly. I hope it does. And if it doesn't, then that means that you're already doing a good job at this. But we'll do about 4.5 million transactions this year in the United States, which means that there's 9 million sides. Okay. Now, it's inevitable that we're going to lose a lot of agents in the next couple of years, which I think is a good thing for most people. Okay. Unless you're one of the ones that's going to be gone, in which case maybe it's a good thing for you to go do something else. That said, if we go out 2-3 years, say 3 years, and the average agent is doing 25 sides per year, which is a big increase from today. But let's say the average agent's doing 25 sides. That means we only need around 400,000 agents to do the 9 million transactions. So we could lose 1 million agents. And my point in saying that is, one, I believe that's true. Two, I don't think it's a bad thing. But I also believe that those that will be left are going to be and have to become better business owners. That's where a lot of this goes to, is I think we have to become better business owners. We've been able to exist in this industry for too long and sell real estate and make good money without actually having the skill sets of being a business owner. So I'm going to share my screen with you. In fact, I want to stop for a second. What do you guys think about what I said so far? You can yell at me, you can agree. I'm just curious. What do you guys think about that?
I have an opinion on it. Hi,
Nate, yeah.
Nate. Nice to meet you. I don't know what the number will be. That's a pretty bold number that I'm hearing coming from you. For me personally, I still sell and have a team. I would love if that's the case, because that's my business model. Doesn't come off of just collecting bodies for fees, right?
Yep.
But
Yep.
a lot of, I mean, if you look, we're with EXP or with Real or with all these other brokerages, they get fees, $85 a month, $100 a month, Remax, everybody gets fees. So if it cuts down to what you're talking about, you talk about the haves and have nots. If we go to 400,000 realtors, I'll be carrying 100 listings. So for me personally, but I think the people that, if you're just starting out in the business, you're going to have to up your game. I'm
Yeah.
teaching my people, you need to be more professional. You're going to have to up your game. You know, we just had Neil Weichel come and spoke to our group, to my team. He's been the top 10 Remax in the world forever. He's here in Santa Clarita, and he's saying the same thing. So I don't know that it would go down to 400, but wow, if that happens, you talk about an industry change. I mean, that would be just crazy. The whole model will change.
The whole model will change. And I think you're completely agree. We have to be more professional. We have to be more business minded. We have to up our game across the board. So again, people respond to this one of two ways. They'll either say, oh, that's not me, that's crazy talk, yada, yada, yada. Or they'll say, you're right, and it's time to up our game. It's one of the two. But I'm going to share my screen with you guys and show you what I came up with for this call. We'll go over this stuff. The main thing I'll tell you guys are really quick, and how I present, which I think I put in here, is this is a straightforward and direct conversation, as you guys have already seen. So I don't believe in lowering the conversation. I always have a high level conversation, and people raise to the conversations that we have, right? So this is direct. When it comes to business, here's some of the challenges that I see in 19 years in the industry is we as agents, we sometimes lack the vision of what we're actually building towards. And we kind of just exist every year versus having a plan that we're working towards, right? And also what I found is that a lot of people, we know if I ask 10 agents or 100 agents, is tracking your numbers important? Yes. The majority of them are going to say yes. And also, if I were to say, show me the numbers of your business right now, including your P&L, your conversion rates, your lead gen, most people couldn't, right? And I think the challenge is because they don't know what to track. Most of us are using spreadsheets, which are hard to make and break, right? And not all of us know how to use them. It's just a hard thing to do. It's not easy. So a couple quotes here for you guys is, I love this from Tony Robbins. Your income right now is a result of your standards. It is not the industry and it is not the economy. It's a result of your standards. Second, Cuban, the more you know about your numbers, the better decisions you'll make for your business. So the first things first is the plan section. Is I believe that you can have a dream, you can have a goal, or you can have a plan, right? I want to have a six-pack. Is that a dream, a goal, or a plan? What?
The dream.
A goal.
What was the other word? Who said what?
A goal or a dream. You better have a plan. It's a dream.
I want to have a six-pack as a dream. What separates a dream from a goal is a timeline. Okay. I want to have a six-pack by the end of the year. Cool. Now I have a goal. Most people stop at goals. Now, the next thing would be, let me show you exactly what I'm going to do to stop eating as much as I do and to work out more. Coaching and accountability around that. Now I have a plan. They have a dream, a goal, or a plan. And I'll say this last one really quick from Jack Welch, who's one of the best CEOs ever of GE. Good business leaders create a vision, articulate the vision, they passionately own the vision, and they relentlessly drive it to completion. So when we think about your business, guys, I really want you to challenge you guys to think about what is it specifically you're building. The way that I kind of articulate this is if you could go up to your whiteboard and there's the whiteboard says, we're done. We did it. It's built. Okay. And there was a checkbox. And for you to check that box, we're done, we did it, it's built. What did you build? What is it? What does that actually mean? Right? And what I see in a lot of times in real estate, and we'll dive into this here and move my Zoom boxes here. What I see is that people build goals in this industry based on what? Say it out loud. What are the common things people build goals around in business planning? What are they?
Money.
Which unit? Is it the GCI number typically?
Yes, GCI or number of units.
Bingo. GCI, units, or volume. That's how people create goals. And I'm here to say, I think that's stupid. I think it's the wrong way to do it. And I'll show you guys what I mean by that. Is if I say to someone, Aria, what's your goal? And you say, I want to do 20 million. And I say, great. If you do 20 million, did you win? And you go, well, yes. Excellent. You did $20 million, but you only netted $80,000 for your family. Did you win?
No.
The units, the volume, and the GCI are irrelevant. What matters most is your net, how much money you bring home for your family, okay? So the first thing in ClarityNOW that I want to show you guys, and I'm having trouble grabbing my Zoom boxes here, sorry about that. The first thing I want to show you guys in ClarityNOW is our business planning is the only tool that does what it does, and it's super powerful. And you guys will have an opportunity at the end of this to see ClarityNOW, but also sign up for a little bit of a discount if you guys choose to. But it works for everybody. I'm a rainmaker, I own a team, so you're like Nate, or I'm on a team, which I love that status, or I'm an individual agent. Let's say I own a team. And the very first question, guys, what the first question should be, how much money do you want to net? What's your goal? And let's say I want to net, say, $500,000. Average sales price, average commission, your conversion ratios, what percentage of your business comes from listings, your buyer conversion ratios, on average, how much do you spend per month on the business? There's also a budget model and a legion model for a lot deeper business planning. Let's say I spend $30,000 a month to operate this business. Do you have a cap? How much is your cap? Does your company also have a franchise fee? We're broker agnostic, so we work for everybody. If you don't have a cap, which I think this call mostly does, but if you didn't, it says what percentage of your commissions goes to your broker. So put in your cap with EXP. This is super important, okay? So I selected I own a team. So Nate, thank you for saying you have a team. Nate, if you build a business plan based on net, the number of units that your company will have to sell is completely different whether you personally are selling 100 homes yourself or whether you're out of production entirely, correct?
100%. Yes.
100%. So this is saying how many listings and how many buyers are you signing up for as a rainmaker? Meaning how many sales will there be no splits paid on? Because it makes a huge difference in the math, okay? So Nate's going to do 40 listings and he'll do 30 buyers. He's a rock star. He'll do 70 units on his back, okay? But the rest has to come from the team. And here's my average split on the listing side. Here's my average split on the buyer side. Do I have an ISA department? Yes or no? How many referral fees do you think you'll pay out? And what rate will you pay on average? Do you have any per transaction cost, right? An admin fee or admin bonus or office fees to your, per file, right? Your seasonality, it's auto set at 20, 30, 30, and 20 per quarter, which is pretty standard. And yet you can and should change it if yours is different. And now you and every agent in the industry can now have a plan based on net. So in this case, if I wanted to net $500,000, it's 44.5 million in volume. It's 1.2 in GCI, 162 units. What's really cool though, is that Nate said he would do 40 listings and 30 buyers himself. And that means the gap is he needs to have a team that can do 57 listings and 35 buyers. Now he knows what to go recruit to. Right? If he wants to net, say, $500,000 in 2027, but be out of production, go build it now. And let's see what this would need to be so you know what you're recruiting towards, right? We have your cost of sale is $340,000. You have your cap, you have your agent compensation, your referral fees, your admin bonuses, your 28% cost of sale, $860 gross profit, $360 to make the thing run, your expenses. That got you back to your net. In this case, you're just over 41% profitable. And here's all the appointments that you'll need to go on to make that happen based on your conversion ratios. So first things first is I want you guys to have a plan. And I really want your plan to be based on how much you net. Questions, thoughts, comments on just the economic model to start, the planning section.
I think it's great.
Good.
Great. Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Most
good.
plans start with how much GCI do you want to make?
And it's because the math is easy, right? It's GCI divided by average commission equals units. But it's way more complicated than that when you throw in expenses and cost of sales and referral fees and rainmaker production. All right, moving on. The second thing in this presentation for you guys in the advanced agent is to go to the tracking section. Now with tracking, successful businesses have KPIs. They don't just have KPIs, they understand and they act on them. A KPI, by the way, is a key performance indicator. So another way to think about this is we have lead indicators or lag indicators. A lag indicators would be like your closings. I had 7 closings this month. The lead indicator would be that you set 12 listing appointments in January, right? So you can see what's starting to happen, what could be forecasting. So what should your KPIs be? Okay, the rest of this is kind of going over what the KPIs of your business should be to really operate this thing throughout the year. The first one, and I think one of the most important ones, is what we call the goal gap. And I'll show you how this works. This is really powerful. So in ClarityNOW, we now have a goal, right? We have a goal based on net. It tells us the units, tells us the volume. You or your operations team is going to enter all of your transactions into the system. Right now, we have a Follow Up Boss API, QuickBooks API, and we're building out more. So someone will be entering every transaction. So you sell a house, you click new, you fill out the form. So there needs to be data in the system, right? But when you have data and you have a goal, we now have what's called a goal gap report, which is crazy powerful. You'll love this. It tells you, and actually I'll back up. It stems from this that we call your business information, which is what is your average contract to close? How long does it take to go from listing agreement signed to day 1 on the market? And then what's your average days on market? What the system is going to do is it's going to sum up those 3 numbers and subtract it from December 31st. Okay. So your contract to close and how long it takes to go live and sit before you sell. That generates your goal gap, which tells you this, that you only have 33 days to sell for properties that can close in quarter 3. We only have 14 days to take a listing that can close in quarter 3 because it's got to get in the market and sit in the market before it sells, right? Based on the economic model that we just set, our goal is to get 34 listings in quarter 3, sell 48 for 13.2 million. In the system, we've signed 3 listings. We have 11 pending and closed for almost $4 million. Our gap, we still need 31 listings signed, 37 sales at 9.3 million in volume. These numbers divided by how many days you have left to take listings and how many days you have left to sell for the quarter is this. This is the magic right here. Your weekly gap needed to stay on track. So if I'm running a team meeting or if I'm doing a one-on-one or I'm just holding myself accountable, this week, guys, we got to sign 16, sell 8 for $2 million. This is now your team meeting, right? If I'm doing a one-on-one with an agent on my team, I would go to my observatory and here's the agents on my team. And I'm going to jump into Fiona's account. Fiona's an agent on my team. She has her own ClarityNOW account where her goal gap tells her that she has 48 days to sell, 5 days left to list. Her goal is 12 for 2.4. She's at 2 for 740. This is her one-on-one. This week, Fiona, you got to basically list one in the next 3 weeks, really, because 0.28, right? You got to sell 2 for 250. So it makes coaching and staying on track of your business that much easier with the goal gap. Questions, thoughts, comments on the goal gap, guys?
To get
Basically,
something like this, what is the investment?
I'm sorry?
What is the investment on
Easy.
this? Is it a monthly fee or a one-time?
Easy.
Yeah, it's
He'll-
cheap. It's
He'll
cheap.
get to you.
It's 79
Thank
or
you.
1. It's not expensive, but I'll give you guys a discount at the end. Okay, the next KPI is your daily lead generation. Okay, this is like the least fun one to track because it requires discipline to every day, like actually enter what did I do, right? But in ClarityNOW, the way we have it is in daily tracking. If you click on new, this is all the standard stuff that comes in the system. So dials, appointments, etc. But realtors oftentimes want to track anything and everything and random stuff. So in daily tracking, you can click on new category, type in whatever the heck you want. So no matter what you want to track, it can be tracked. So Popeyes, number of previews, text messages, 5-star reviews, whatever, right? So now when I go to new and I scroll down, all of my custom stuff is here. So today, I did 5 interviews, which doesn't make sense for real estate, which is fine. I did 5 interviews. I go to my reports. I go to my lead gen and conversions. I go to my custom tracking sources. I can sort it by whatever timeline I want. But if I go down to interviews, Liam has done 5, right? So no matter what you want to track, you can track it in ClarityNOW. And I believe that your numbers tell a story. Your numbers tell a story. And as a business owner, I say all the time, I don't even care what the numbers are, but I need to know what the numbers are so I know what to adjust. Okay, so do I have an issue with your contacts to set? You're set to held. You're held to taken. You're taken to pendant, list side, buy side, your conversion rate and your dials to contacts. These are all stories. So we just need to know what the stories are so you know what to track. Next, sales pipeline. I think this is one of the most underutilized tools in real estate, and most people don't do them well. And I'll explain what I mean by that. Is we're all familiar with CRMs that have our pipeline. We have all of our leads in there, and they have a hot, medium, cold, right? Or they have a 30, 60, 90 or something attached to it. My challenge with those, and again, being direct with you, is what the hell does hot mean? I can ask 10 people on my team and they all have different answers, right? Or even worse, this lead has been labeled 30 days, but they've been labeled 30 days for 9 months. Now I can't trust anything. So the way that we do our pipeline in ClarityNOW is really simple. We do 10s, 9s, 8, 7, 6, and 5. And what that means is this: a 10 is I'm getting that listing signed this month. A 9, I'm getting that listing signed next month. So today is July 15th. If I have 10s, that means I'm expecting to get them signed before the end of July. On the buy side, it's the same thing, just flip for a buyer. A 10 is they will be purchasing a home this month. They'll be purchasing a home next month. It's extremely literal. You can't hide from it. So when I'm looking at my pipeline, I can see I have 18 in my pipeline for $5 million for 148,000 in GCI. Most importantly, 74,000 in gross profit, which is my money, right? I have 3 10s, 4 9s, 2 8s, and so forth. If I just want to see my listings, I got 12 for 3.4. I got 2 10s. If I want to see what those 2 10s are, here's my 2 10s that I expect to get signed by the end of this month. So extremely literal. So I just think it's an underutilized tool. People say all the time really quick, they say, I need to go update my pipeline. I hate that. You should live in your pipeline. It should be one of the tabs that's always open on your computer 24/7, 365 is your pipeline. We don't update it, we live in it. Big difference. Okay. Next, we analyze our business. Mr. Elon, numbers don't lie. If your KPIs are indicating something is wrong, it probably is. So we mentioned this one a little bit already, but our conversion reports, in Daily Track, in ClarityNOW, we have the conversion reports here. See what your standards are and see what your reality is and see if there's an issue. Next one, I think this is one of the most, if not the most important metric to monitor a business. And it's probably my favorite report. In CEO summary, we have a report called the projected net profits. This is really powerful. What it does, and this is a demo count, so it looks kind of funny, but what it does is it takes your closed gross profit and your pending gross profit. So not GCI. Okay, it's taking gross profit. So your money after splits. It then totals it up. How much you said you would spend per month in the economic model. When we did the economic model, I said I'd spend 30 grand a month. Therefore, what is my estimated net? We're going to lose somewhere around 13,000 in July. I'm making 25,000 in August, and I'm losing 6,300 in September. I know that now today. This column right here is so important as a business owner to know. The next thing is a profit and loss. Agents know we should have a P&L, and yet very few actually do. In ClarityNOW, we have the best P&L in the industry, in my opinion. And I say that, one, because it's built by a real estate coach, so I know what a P&L should look like. A lot of people have P&Ls through QuickBooks, as an example. And unless you're hiring a bookkeeper that is specific to real estate, most QuickBooks P&Ls are wrong because the P&L is starting on the gross profit, the money coming into the account, and then has expenses from there. A real estate P&L really needs to be starting on the GCI and then have your cost of sale, which gives you a gross profit and then deducts your expenses in the specific categories to real estate, compensation, lead gen, coaching, supplies, etc. Then gives you a net down below. So the reason why I love this is, one, is built for real estate. The income and the cost of sales, so 2/3 of it is happening automatically through transactions. Just getting your transactions in, it's done automatically. The expenses are through a QuickBooks API or click financials, and you can enter your expenses by hand. There's also a deep dive of your expense breakdown. So if I want to see the actual line items that made up those totals. And lastly, there's a charts, a visual P&L for those that like charts and graphs. And we also built out a quarter P&L. So I can see that too. Last thing is succeed, right? We went from plan, have a goal based on net, track, what are the KPIs, goal gap, lead generation, pipeline, analyze, conversion reports, your cash flow, your P&L. You do that well and consistently for a long period of time, guys, we succeed. And succeed means you're putting money in your bank account to create wealth with, right? Pricing, I'll put this in a link for you guys so you guys can see this. Here's the link to our website. I didn't have time to build out anything special for this in terms of a separate link, but I put our website in there. We have a $79 plan and a $129 plan. We say it's really individual and teams. If you guys sign up today, and I'll know this because I'll see a sign up that comes through today. If you guys sign up today, no matter what plan you pick, I'll give you half off for the first month. So you guys will sign up, and then we'll just go in and manually take half off for the first 30 days. But you guys have the link. So I'd love to know, what are your guys' questions, comments, ahas? What did you guys take out of this in a pretty jam-packed and fast, 25 minutes together?
Is this in conjunction with your CRM, right? That you use? It's not a CRM, right?
It's not a CRM. Yeah, we're not trying to be.
So you can connect it like I use Sierra, or if you use Follow Up Boss or KV or whatever, but you just connect it, and your lead portal, your other stuff can go in conjunction with.
Correct. And we're building out more integration. So right now we have Follow Up Boss. We don't yet have Sierra. The future of the company, though, is more integrations with all the CRMs. But you're exactly right. We don't want to be. The challenge of CRMs is they kind of do everything. We just want to be really great at tracking and financials and planning, and then connect to all the stuff. But yeah, great question. We're not a CRM.
I think it's great.
What did you guys take out of this? Arya?
Well, this is actually too serious. If you really want to have a business, I think that's the good. It's interesting because every year my accountant says, Arya, can you send me your P&L, or you want to do a loan for our self-employed? You have to put a P&L. It would be kind of nice to say, well, let me just go and create one. Then you already says, click, 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 and you actually can send them. And you said you want it in quarterly basis, monthly basis, and I can tell you the details. It definitely, if you go to a banker and you have this and you present it, I think they're gonna probably approve you much faster than if you actually try to explain what you do with that. This is obviously very professional.
Thank you.
You know, I just need to increase my volume to be worthy of this great tool.
Hey, go
Thank
do
you.
that. Go do that, and you're welcome. I go work. I completely agree with you. And by the way, as far as giving access, you can give viewer or edit access to anybody at no cost. So for a CPA, if someone signs up, just give your CPA viewer access so they can always see your financials.
Jeremy,
Yes, sir, Frank?
one of the reasons I wanted to bring this is because Don Yoakum, Tom Daves, and Randy Bird have all gone in on this. And without going into detail, they've invested a lot more than $79 a month. And they're giving this to their whole group. And that was number one, because I think Don Yoakum is one of the smartest business minds around. That's number one. Number two, for somebody like Elgin, Michael, and Nate, as far as your team members, that eliminates a lot of BS, and it cuts right to the quick about, hey, you are 2 listings away from your goal this month.
Yeah.
And it's right in black and white, and it can show your team members that you are a professional. And that's what I was really impressed about that.
Thank you, Frank.
And third, I pay my bookkeeper $60 a month to do my P&L. Well, for $19 more, I'm going to get this. This is a no-brainer for me.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, I also agree. He's very sharp. Don's a smart man, mainly because he pays me. I'm kidding. Don's fantastic.
Yeah.
Elgin, can I call on you? What did you see? What did you hear?
It was very impressive as far as exactly how you keep everything in order. I do some of the things that you are doing, but I don't have a system like this that I use. I mean, I have a P&L, and I made up some stuff for myself a few years back. Yeah, a few years back. But I mean, it's not nearly as efficient or as descriptive as what you have. So definitely, I definitely liked it. It was an impressive tool. So
really, truly, congratulations on having something. Just for clarity, guys, no pun intended. I don't care what you guys use. I don't care if you use ClarityNOW or something else. What I do care is that you treat your business like a business, right? That you have a plan based on that you're tracking your conversions, that you have a P&L, that we're leading our team members appropriately. It's a huge obligation to bring on a team member. And frankly, there's a lot of people for them to go to. So are we showing up as the best leader for those people and with the best tools to help them succeed? If you have spreadsheets that are working, beautiful. If you don't, or if your spreadsheets suck and are cumbersome, this is a very, very easy solution that we try to make affordable.
So this is only $79 a month, is what you're saying?
Yep, $79 for an individual and $129 for a team. The only difference between the two accounts, so you guys know, is the ability to create your own lead generation categories is specifically a Business Plus feature. And then the conversion reports, agent production reports, vendor reports, lead source reports. If I'm a business owner and I'm really analyzing my business, these are some additional reports I probably would want to see. If I'm an individual agent, I may not care as much about that stuff, and the $79 plan is totally fine. It is month to month, and you can upgrade to the other plan or downgrade to. But yes, to get started, $79 a month. And if you guys sign up today, anyone who signs up today, I'll take half off the first month. We'll just have to do it on the back end. Michael, Frank mentioned your name as well. Were you able to speak? Did you see that by chance? It's okay if you're not.
I think he sent a text that says he was out somewhere. I think he was trying to listen in, but I think he's on an appointment.
That's totally okay. I know Zoom in 2024, we're all doing stuff. Okay. Any last questions from me, guys?
Yeah, Jeremy, can you put your phone number in the chat box in case anybody wants to contact you directly?
Yeah, I want that.
Email and phone number.
And like I said, guys, I realize that Jeremy came on here and the first thought was, oh shit, this is a sales presentation. The only reason I did this is because I know some of you have teams and this could be a benefit. I by no means, I'm pushing this on you guys or anything. I just saw the value in it. And that's why Jeremy is on this call.
Well, thank you, Frank, for the opportunity. And the main thing, guys, I think that's maybe is different for us versus one or two competitors we have is I've been a coach in the industry for a long time, and I'm 19 years in the industry. My wife sells 200 homes a year. I'm a real estate agent that ended up randomly building a tech product. I'm not a tech company that built stuff for realtors that doesn't really know the industry. That's the only reason why this tool is as powerful as it is, in my opinion, because I know this industry inside and out and what I do to coach. So I appreciate the opportunity. Frank, thank you so much.
Jeremy, can I ask you one question? I'm sorry. I loved your presentation, by the way. I'm just
I have another question too. I got another question too.
Go ahead, Ralph. I'm writing down his information. Go ahead.
So my question is that you said you're not a realtor right now, right?
I let my license go, actually. I chose not to renew it, mainly for, you'll laugh at this.
Sure.
My wife has a team.
Yeah.
I no longer wanted to be tapped for doing showings.
Correct. So what you're saying is that this is like, so just an accountability kind of spreadsheet type, you know what I'm saying? Sales coaching, accountability type operation that you're showing.
Yeah. Leading yourself or others, right? It's our mission as a goal is transforming agents into business owners, right? Agents into business owners. So again, creating a plan based on net, knowing where you're at throughout the month and throughout the week with that goal gap, the P&L, conversion reports. It's all tools for yourself to become a better business owner. So if you're an individual agent, it's still super valuable. If you have a team and you're leading other people, you're coaching other people, in my opinion, it's a complete no-brainer because it just elevates you as a coach. So yes, if that answers your question.
Absolutely, it did. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Nate, what you got?
Now I forget my question. Can you tell me who your competitors are?
Yeah, I really only have one, and it's Sisu.
See, so that's what I was wanting to know. That's because I looked into Sisu. So I've looked into Sisu and I know Spring and all that. So I was just wondering if this was your competitor.
That would be our primary competitor. And
can you tell me why you're better than Sisu?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, for several reasons. One, her husband's a founder, not Spring, right? So he's not from the industry. So they don't have a business plan based on net. They don't have a goal gap. They don't even have a P&L. They don't have a lot of the things the three things I showed you, they don't have, right? Fourth, I think we're a simpler, easier to use platform. I truly think we're a lot cleaner. And fifth, I think that they're offensively expensive. They are not affordable. So our goal is to be affordable for agents.
I remember we looked at it and we didn't like it. And the only reason I'm asking was because my wife does all of our books and all of our P&Ls and everything. And this looks extremely simple. Like I could mess with this.
But it's not uncommon for them to be $400 or $500 a month or more, depending upon your team size. Their model is going after the top agents in the country. Our model is to help as many agents as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, they do Chiplax group. That's that whole thing. That's that whole charge a lot of money. And it's okay. It's okay. It's a good model. It's a good model.
Yeah, they would really be our only competitor in the space.
Okay. I liked what I saw. I'm giving you a big compliment. I've just wondered if that was more because I've had that presentation and we were kind of looking for something to do our books. And you recorded this, Frank, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to let Amy look at it and see if this will help us.
Yeah. That Sisu is also a Tom Ferry owned company. Am I correct?
No, I don't believe they're owned by Tom Ferry, but they think they use them. I think they're just, partners in some capacity.
Because he promotes it.
Yeah, he promotes it. He promotes
it. Well, I mean, frankly, the only other competitor that we would have is a company called CTE, who's been around for a long time, but they're in Microsoft OneDrive. So they're really spreadsheets. It's not software. So Sisu has probably a 5 or 6 year head start on us with having software. So, there was no one else but Sisu, frankly, until us in the last year or so. So a lot of companies that are with Sisu that partner with them, it's just because there wasn't a second option for a lot of them.
Another thing too is my bookkeeper doesn't know anything about real estate, and she's constantly calling me, what is this for? What is this for? What is this for? Well, if you're incorporated, every lunch I'm writing off.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is why I feel more comfortable with this. But anyway, I digress. That was my 2 cents.
Thank you, Nate. On our website too, you can schedule a demo. So if your wife wants to schedule a demo,
Cool.
we'll do that.
No, that was great. It was quick to the point. It was you're a good speaker, and it was very informative. And I really like the P&L part a lot.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys.
Wow,
And-
coming from Nate, that's a big deal.
Well, it's how many do I have to sell versus how many, you're always trying to figure out,
Yeah.
did I really make 20%, 25% off the team? They cover the bills. How many I got to still sell? Because that crossover is brutal, man. I think I have to do 300. The team would have to do 300 deals for me to stop selling.
Right.
And we're at about 150 right now. I do 40 and they do 100, so that's a big gap, but to know those exact numbers would really be cool.
Literally, I mean, all you need to do is just go to the economic model.
Yep.
Pick a random year. I like to pick 2027. Why? I went 2024. Go down to 2027 or whatever year you like. Create the economic model. Say I own a team. I want a net, whatever number you put. And then
how many bodies? Yep.
How many listings and how many buyers will you do? Just put zeros and let the math do the math. I don't know if this is impressive or embarrassing, but it took about a year to get that economic model to work. It was really hard. It was really hard to get that.
What it does, it keeps you from fooling yourself.
Yes.
It keeps you from fooling yourself. Oh, I'm making a lot of money. Oh, well, it's out 80,000. I think we cleared about 120,000. We're going to clear about 100, let's say 100 grand in a month. Well, that's fine. But if it costs me 70, 65 to run the life and you didn't really save any money to invest or anything. So that really helps you not spend when you think you're making a lot of money to keep all your numbers. But this looks like a really good platform. So
Plus, if you're running a team and you do weekly meetings, those charts are your meetings. You wouldn't even have to prepare. It's all right there.
All right. Yep. There. Yeah. Hey guys, we had this, we had this, we had this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremy, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you
this
soon.
is recorded and then we replay it out on the winner's circle for people who aren't here. But I really appreciate your time. And Jeremy, I will be in touch. Thanks everybody for joining. Have a great week.
See you soon.
Great
Bye.
job. I appreciate it.
Bye.
Great job.